All right, good afternoon, everybody. This is Devin Fry with your Valley News Now digital update. As you can imagine, we're going to be talking about what we're dealing with outside right now. Thankfully, safe at the confines of our Valley News Now studios. Hopefully, you're watching safely at home or wherever you may be for the day. Hopefully, you're taking things easy today, giving yourself plenty of time to be where you need to be, staying inside if you can, especially for our friends up north in the northern parts of our viewing area. We're going to have the latest from the First Alert Weather Team here in just a little bit. We're going to be showing you the top of Valley News Live at noon to kind of give you a full rundown of what we have so far. And then when we come back, we're going to talk about what we've seen, and then I'm going to give you the full weather segment from our noon show with Russ Thomas, and then we'll go from there. But I wanted to show you right away. We had to start with our sky cam here. Look at the movement on some of these poles. I don't know if you can see that. I'm going to try to zoom in really fast. Look at the movement on the poles here. This is our Newman outdoor field camera. Look at this. You can see some movement right here of these light poles. Of course, the camera in and of itself is moving, but just a lot of wind out there. That was, of course, the biggest factor that we saw for the early part of the morning. Now it's starting to snow out there, so we're getting more and more involved in this First Alert weather day. We'll see how things continue to develop. We're, of course, going to hear from our First Alert Storm Team here in just a little bit. We want to hear about your experiences as well. I have our Facebook Live open, and I'm going to have it open during this entire segment here. If you want to drop any pictures or videos or show us what you've been dealing with, feel free. We're going to have it up, and we'll get to that once our Valley News Live at noon update is finished in this in-between part here. So feel free to drop those and we'll get to them as we can. We're going to look at North Dakota Highway Patrol's Facebook feed as well. They've posted tons of pictures of conditions and crashes. And now really quickly before Valley News Live at noon starts, let's go over some of the road closures that we've seen so far. Of course, the biggest one, I-29 from Grand Forks to the Canadian border, that is shut down. At this point, that's the only section of the interstate that has been closed. We're, of course, going to watch for that to change in any minute as these conditions seem to get closer and closer to our area locally here at the Valley News Live studio. Some roads in northwest Minnesota have been closed as well. Highway 1 from the North Dakota border to Warren is closed. Highway 2 from East Grand Forks to Crookston is closed. Highway 75 from Shelley to the Canadian border, that's closed as well. Highway 175 from the North Dakota border to Hallock is closed. And Highway 220 from Climax to Highway 11 is closed as well. The latest update we got from MnDOT also, no travel advised on the following roads. Highway 9 from Crookston to Burrup, Highway 102 from Crookston to Fertile, and Highway 11 from the North Dakota border to Carlstadt. We're going to go ahead and try to get a travel map pulled up for you. We'll start with North Dakota and then we'll go from there. I will, of course, be throwing to Valley News Live at noon when that starts so you can get a full look at what's going on there before we come back to us here at the Valley News Now desk. Let's pull this up full first, though. Here's the current road conditions. I'm going to use my mouse to kind of show you where things started and where they're at. When we first got into the station this morning, you know what? Tell you what, guys, we're going to talk about that in a little bit. First, we're going to go to Valley News Live at noon here. No, we're not going to do that yet. We're going to go back to the highways. Sorry about that. So let's take a look at where things are in North Dakota right now. Of course, when we first started our day, it was more of a semicircle around the southeast part of the state. It's been slowly closing and closing in. Of course, Fargo, west all the way to Jamestown, north all the way to Grand Forks, and then from Grand Forks out well past the Devil's Lake area. No travel advised there. And of course, the biggest roadblock, quite literally, is I-29 between Grand Forks and the Canadian border. That is currently closed. We're going to go ahead and try to pull up some Minnesota current conditions as well, and we'll get those going for you. Like I said, I have our Facebook Live pulled up as well. So if anybody has any pictures or videos that they've gotten throughout the day as they are continuing to deal with these weather conditions, please go ahead and show us. We'll go ahead and give them to the full audience here. Let everybody get a full look. Okay, I'm pulling up the road map, the current road conditions map in Minnesota right now, if I can do that. But of course, yeah, here we go. Let's take a look at this. As you can see, the northwest part of Minnesota is closed. Moose out front should have told you. But again, we read through the list of highways closed. If you missed that, we'll go through it again, and I imagine we'll hear about it in Valley News Live at noon as well. But yeah, this entire northwest section of the state, not looking great. If you can stay home, please do. If you're gonna have to go anywhere, give yourself plenty of time and be prepared to find some interesting ways to get there as these road closures may continue. Now, like our First Alert weather team's been telling us, these conditions are going to be developing throughout the day. They're going to be moving very quickly. Like I said, when we first started, it was kind of we were kind of in a bubble here in the southeast part of North Dakota, and that bubble is quickly closed in on us as the day has gone on. So we'll see what happens as that continues to develop. Like I said, we're gonna pull up some of the North Dakota Highway Patrol. Their Facebook feed has been a treasure trove for videos, just kind of giving everybody an indication of just how bad it is out there. We're going to pull those up when we get back from Valley News Live at noon. Right now, the plan is when Valley News Live at noon starts, we're going to give you the first part of that show, which is the latest on road conditions and weather. So let's go ahead and do that right now.
Live at noon.
And thank you very much for joining us here at noon. I'm Duke Schindler. Now, we have team coverage of today's winter storm coming into effect. And we have been live in Grand Forks really all morning, checking in with our Austin Carisu and Selah Jakeaway. Not to mention, Chief Meteorologist Russ Thomas is in tracking this storm. So for a first look here, let's get straight out to Austin with an update here. Austin, how are things looking out there?
Yeah, hey Duke, like you mentioned, big top story of the day is this First Alert weather day that we're tracking throughout our region here in North Dakota and Minnesota. Now I'm in Grand Forks right now at a hotel right next to the Alaris Center, and this morning I actually just met Trisha here. She's staying here. She's hunkered down. She was trying to travel actually to Las Vegas, but her flight has been a little bit delayed. Thanks for joining us, Trisha. So can you tell me a little bit about your experience with this blizzard and the delays it's actually caused?
Yeah, thanks for having me, Austin. So I came into town yesterday because I knew the weather was going to be really bad. I didn't expect it to be this bad. I can't even get out of the hotel parking lot. Luckily, my flight's fairly early. It was scheduled for noon. Currently, I'm delayed a couple of hours trying to get to Las Vegas to spend some time with my son for the holiday. And I'm just really hopeful that things settle down a little bit and I'm able to make it to my destination.
Well, thanks for that information, Trisha. We're actually going to go outside real quick, show these actual conditions. Now, it's pretty rough out here. We've been out here, Selah and I have been out in Grand Forks all morning this morning, and the wind really has not slowed down at all much. As you can see, these wind gusts were picking up. They're still pretty heavy here out in Grand Forks. Pretty white out conditions. Now, travel is not recommended, and as we've been updating you throughout the day, many road closures throughout this region as well as down south into Minnesota. And if you do have to go out for any reason, which is not recommended, do make sure you are layered up, wearing the proper amount of clothing, because you could get frostbite, maybe hypothermia really quick. So definitely wear some layers, gloves, hats, maybe even snow pants. I got multiple layers on myself just out here, but as you can see, the conditions still not really improving much as of now. Hopefully they'll improve later in the day. Coming up, Chief Meteorologist Russ Thomas will have the latest with the weather. Just a live look right now at Grand Forks. Still pretty rough conditions out here and many road closures. But for now, I'm going to send it back to you, Duke, in the studio. I'm Austin Carisu reporting in Grand Forks for Valley News Live.
Thank you very much, Austin. Now, let's get an official check of the forecast here with Russ, as it looks a little breezy out here. Well, he's got a detailed look on what to expect for today.
That's right. I want to thank Austin and Selah, by the way, for being out there weathering that. Literally, you could see trying to hold the camera still. Wind is blowing, and that picture is better than I can tell you. That video you saw behind you with very, very poor visibility, less than 1/10 of a mile in many areas. So we have a blizzard warning in effect for all the areas here, shaded in purple, and that is most of the region. In fact, this morning that has been extended farther to our south. So again, what we're looking at, and we'll continue to see the opportunity for snow coming down over the next several hours, more so as you get into Lakes Country, northwest Minnesota as we move into the afternoon. Wind gusts 60 to 70 miles per hour. Travel near impossible, if not impossible in some areas. As Austin mentioned, some road closures as well, including 29 heading up from Grand Forks right there to the border. Satellite radar, you can see that snow right now where it is located and where we are expected to continue to see it go here. Wind chill haze, that's another thing we're looking at. 27 below. That's what it feels like right now in Fargo. 36 below in Langdon, 30 below in Hallock, 30 below Devil's Lake, even Bemidji here looking at 10 below. So again, not just that, we got those wind chills because we have the very strong winds. Wind gusts in the last hour, 55 miles per hour out of the northwest in Fargo, 61 Grand Forks, 53 Jamestown. But again, up and down the Red River Valley, those are the areas where we have the strongest winds at this point. Now take a look at our hourly planner. Snow through about 2 o'clock in Fargo. Then we start to see the cloud cover. The snow goes away, but still look at our numbers. Slowly going down. Winds are remaining very strong. Quick look at Grand Forks here, and you can see windy conditions, 2 below, 2 below, 4 below. But again, it's going to feel like 25 to 30 below for much of the afternoon. Now coming up in just a few minutes, we'll talk more about that forecast as we head into the rest of the evening. Christmas week looks a little quieter out there, Duke.
We'll certainly take a little bit of quiet after what we're seeing here today, Russ. Thank you very much. And we'll kind of move on to the roads here, taking a look at the conditions we're experiencing right now, at least on the North Dakota DOT here. Obviously, you can tell tons of red here. Now that white spotted red, that is where no travel is advised. And then as Russ mentioned here as well, I-29 north to the Canadian border, that is going to be closed off. Now this storm has moved quite quickly here, especially in the valley areas. When I came in here today, Fargo was still very clear at this time. And just a little south of Grand Forks is where really the no travel advisory was cut off. It has now made its way all the way back into this area and looking to get even further south. Luckily, west of Fargo, it has cleared out. There's much more red here towards the west of North Dakota. But like Russ said, and Austin as well, if you don't need to go out tonight, make sure you stay inside. These are very dangerous conditions. And for up to
Okay, thank you very much to Duke, Austin, Selah, and Russ Thomas for some team coverage there. As they move on to other stories, we're going to keep our focus on the weather. We're going to chat a little bit until they get back to Russ's main weather segment, and then we'll go back into the studio to hear the very latest there. But you heard what Russ told us. You saw from that live look from Austin, not fun outside. Wind chill factor of 27 below out there, and I believe it. I was only out there for a second, and I'm feeling it. Make sure if you have auto start, make sure that works. That was a lifesaver for me today. We're just going to chat here for a minute. Again, I have our Facebook Live feed open, so if you have any comments, questions that we can try to answer, or just pictures, videos you want to show us of what you've been dealing with today, we'll chat about that. But first, let's go ahead and look at what the North Dakota Highway Patrol has been up to today. They've been posting all day. We're going to look in just the past hour here, as soon as I can get that pulled up. This is on their Facebook page, North Dakota Highway Patrol. This was posted about an hour ago. I-94 near mile marker 312, that's just south of Buffalo. Visibility reduced to quarter mile or less. I can only imagine it's gotten less fun in the time since that's been posted. Let's take a look here. I-94 mile marker 334 near Castleton. This was about 10:35 a.m. First responders on scene of a crash in the area involving a semi-trailer overturned due to strong winds. High-profile vehicles and empty or lightly loaded trailers are especially vulnerable in these conditions. Use extreme caution or delay travel if possible. Again, this is on I-94 near Crookston about an hour to an hour and a half ago, courtesy of North Dakota Highway Patrol. Look at this video around Stutzman County on I-94. Zero visibility from the North Dakota Highway Patrol. No travel advised. And again, we've looked at that travel map there. The only section of the road that's been closed so far is I-29 from Grand Forks to the Canadian border. Everything else still open, but as you can see, it's not a very good time if you do hit the roadways. No travel advised in our half of the state, essentially. This is I-29 near Grand Forks. Zero visibility in many areas. The sign in the background is less than 100 feet away. Yeah, there's a sign in the background of this video. You can't see it, but it's less than 100 feet away. And this goes off of what Austin showed us as well in his live feed up there. Again, you could check their current roadmap on the ND Roads site for the latest there. We looked at that a little bit ago. We will go ahead and check that back out at some point here in the near future. But for now, let's go ahead and keep looking at what North Dakota Highway Patrol has warned us about. This is in Cass County on I-94. I'm not sure where. Is that the Main Avenue Bridge in West Fargo? If it is, that is alarming. But yeah, no, it's not a great time out there. We're going to come back to our Skycam network here. I'm going to go ahead and pull this up. This is our Newman Outdoor Field Skycam. Look at the movement, not just from the Skycam itself, but if you really focus in and look, the light poles there by Newman Outdoor Field, look at the movement on those. Intense winds out there. As Russ Thomas told us, there's a wind chill factor of 27 below zero. It is incredibly not fun out there, I feel is a technical enough term for me to use. So just again, I know we sound like broken records. I know that every time we repeat ourselves in these videos, we get comments saying, you said that already, or stop repeating yourself. I'm going to reiterate 100 times in this short segment here. If you don't have to go outside, do not go outside. Stay home. Be safe. If you have to go to work today, which I had to as well, give yourself plenty of time to get to where you need to be. Drive extra cautiously today. We've seen the road conditions out here. We know what it feels like on the quick walk to the car. It's not fun. I don't want to be preachy. It's really not what I want to do here, but I'm going to be for this occasion. Now, for those of you who are just joining us, we're going to go ahead and reiterate some of the road closures that we've had so far. Let's pull up this map again here. This is the road conditions map right now. As you can see, basically about right around the halfway point of the state, right around Jamestown here, all the way up to the Canadian border here. There's a little dip right here where things aren't no travel advised, but overall, no travel advised in this area makes a ton of sense. Right now, the only closure that we have to report in North Dakota is I-29 from Grand Forks to the Canadian border. Let's go ahead and get our latest from Russ Thomas now as Valley News Live at noon continues.
Wind gust, we'll show you that in just 1 second. Snow coming down, blowing around, creating very poor travel conditions out there and dropping temperatures just like we knew it was going to happen. It's playing out exactly that way. So we take a look at the rest of the day. This afternoon, ongoing blizzard, dangerous travel conditions are going to be there. Snow ends west to east as we progress through the afternoon hours. Winds will continue into the evening. Let's take a look. Again, blizzard warning in effect. All the areas here shaded in purple. That's wind gust 60 to 70 miles per hour. And that is also snow anywhere from 1 to 4 inches. Now, some of that snow has come down already, but still looking at 1, 2, maybe even 3 inches in some areas. Of course, dangerous to impossible travel, damage to trees and power lines. Do want to jump into this area right here. This area shaded a little more deep red. That's a winter storm warning until 6 p.m. this evening. About 3 to 5 inches of snow. Again, some of that's already come down, but still a couple 3 inches possible. Wind gust up to 50 miles per hour, so still very dangerous blowing snow. High wind warning, the area shaded in yellow, and what we've got specifically northwest wind 35 to 45, gusting to 60. This goes through 6 p.m. this evening. Finally, these areas shaded in blue here, that's where we have a winter weather advisory. A little lower on the snow amounts, up to 2 inches. I think at this point, maybe another inch or so. But again, wind gust up to 60 miles per hour. Take a look at our wind chill numbers. It feels like 36 below right now in Langdon, 30 below Devil's Lake, Hallock. All across the region. Cold in those areas that aren't quite as cold with a wind chill, you're going to get there, trust me, as that cold air continues to pour into the region. Satellite radar, we've got some snow, of course, northwest Minnesota stretching down into southeast North Dakota. I will say that over the next couple hours, Fargo-Moorhead going to continue to see that snow. I think by about 2 o'clock, maybe a little after, snow starts to wind down. Here's what we've got as far as our current wind speed. 61 miles per hour out of the north, Grand Forks. 43 miles per hour with gusts of 55 in Fargo. Red River Valley, that's where we're seeing the strongest winds in the 50s and the 60s right now. That wind will continue. That strong wind will continue over the next 2, 3, 4 hours, starting to wind down this evening. First alert forecast, snow eventually, slowly but surely, starts to exit the region. Again, we'll actually see some clearing. Some are going to wind up with some sunshine to close out the day. It's hard to believe when you look outside right now. Winds will subside as well. Now, I do want to let you know as we jump into tomorrow, we are going to have an opportunity for some light snow to make its way through the region. Not going to amount to much, but again, a little bit of light snow right through the afternoon hours. So we look at snowfall potential here, up to 2 inches. Between today, the rest of the day, tomorrow, and Fargo, 3+ potentially near Baudette. Most areas less than 2 inches. In fact, a lot of areas now less than an inch remaining as far as snow. Wind gust, winds still going to be strong this afternoon. You see the areas of red there, pockets of red, continue to see 45 to 60+ mile per hour winds. Definitely going to be a mess, but again tonight, winds do subside. This afternoon, temperatures at 3 o'clock, single digits to below zero, wind chills 25 to 30 below. Tomorrow morning, mostly cloudy, temperatures very, very cold. You can see 12 below Fargo, 24 below with the wind chill. Tomorrow afternoon, a little warmer, still breezy. Weekend forecast, we've got 8 and 13 under a sunny sky. Quick look at our 11-day planner. We go to 20 tomorrow, then colder for the weekend, sunny, 8 and 13. Christmas week, look at this, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, that Friday, 21, 28, 24. So it looks like things will calm down next week for those folks traveling, and a lot of folks do on Christmas. We're going to be good, at least heading out of Fargo. I can't guarantee anywhere else, but around Fargo, we're looking good.
Pretty much just got to get through this weekend and, smooth sailing, hopefully ahead.
Smoother for sure.
Smoother, I like that. Thank you, Russ. And coming straight ahead at noon.
Russ Thomas, very much a silver linings guy. Thank you for joining us for this past 15 minutes or so here. We're going to keep coming onto our Valley News Now networks to give you the latest on what we know as these conditions continue to develop. Like Russ said, some of us are going to get sun later, but for right now, it's this. Enjoy. Be safe out there. Give yourself plenty of time to travel. Stay inside if you can. If you can't, please be careful. We truly want to stress just how important it is to take this event seriously. Stay safe out there. We need you out there. If you have any pictures or videos of what you've been dealing with weather-wise, feel free to send it our way. Our weather team loves it. Our news team likes to see what people are dealing with, what people how people are affected by these storms. It gives us a better idea and helps us tell your story better. So if you have anything, please feel free to send it our way. Either email it or just drop it right to us on our Facebook page. Thank you for joining us on this Valley News Now digital update. I'm Devin Fry.